Yeah, one very important, dangerous, powerful um, force is a earthquake. And an earthquake is one way that you can create a tidal wave. Contrary to what the name implies, tidal waves actually have nothing to do with the tides. I think that the reason it is named a tidal wave is because it's so large that it was thought that only the tide itself could produce such a large wave, when in fact the tide, gravitational forces which from the moon, which actually control the tide, have nothing to do with the creation of a tsunami. Um, a tsunami is created by an underwater earthquake, and you've got part of the ocean crust that ruptures, as shown in this little figure. The rupture causes one side of the fault to rise, and that rise, that massive amount of land that rises, displaces the water above it. So much like if you're in a pool or in a bathtub and you wave your hand underwater real quick, it creates this wave at the surface of the water. Well, that's the same thing that happens, except on a much, much, much larger scale. Tsunamis get a lot of press. I'm sure that most of you have heard about tsunamis that happen over the world. On the west coast of the United States, there has not been one in recent history, but it's certainly a pretty good setting to have one. Um, if you take a look at this link, this YouTube link, if you copy and paste that into your browser, you can see the devastation that's possible from a tsunami. This particular one was in Japan, a country that's ravaged by tsunamis fairly frequently, based on their location within the Ring of Fire, which we talked about earlier. Lots of earthquakes in that area, so lots of tidal waves. Um, if you take a look at this, you'll see what's possible from a large tsunami and how dangerous it really can be. So I encourage you to take a look at that. It's a fairly long video. It's about 14 minutes. But if you just move through it, you can kind of see the progression of these giant, devastating waves.